Lady, who's in here? Somebody's in here with us. Who is it? Who's in here with us? Who is it? Is it a bad guy? He's a bad guy. Actually, he's really not a bad guy. It's Bag of Bones Jones. She's like, no, Mom. That's right. Bag of Bones Jones has now been pulled out of retirement, and he is joining us for the remainder of the season. 'Tis the season for fall and Halloween, right? Who's ready for it? I'm ready for it. Here you see Miss Lady Belle. What are you doing? You hanging out with Bag of Bones Jones? Yeah. And then we've got the precious pup with the fall candle with the precious pup. I can't. It's so cute. I can't. So this is going to be another video in my fall vibes kind of series. Maybe I should do this as a series. You guys seem to like love fall looks, which I'm all about fall looks. So if that is what you want, that is what I will give you. So I want to play around with more colors that are not so like typical fall, which is like the warm tones and everything, which I mean, guys, I love my warm tones, but I also love this color, and it is the olive green. This is the DODO Colors Cutting Edge palette. I've obviously used it before. I've had it for a while, and I mean, obviously there's some warm tones in here, but you see how that on the mirror here, that is from these foiled shades here, which I love. Love, love, love. I'm gonna show you how you can incorporate like an olive green into your fall vibes situation. So if you wanna see how I go from this to looking like this, just keep on watching. My dog keeps walking around. She's like, Mom, Dad is home. I do not want to spend time with you. I want to be with him. I'm gonna start off by priming my face with my face. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the P. Louise Acid Rain Blank Canvas eyeshadow base. That would be very interesting to prime my whole face with this. I don't want to try it. Taking this Morphe E21, and I'm just going to apply this onto the eyelids to prep for the green eyeshadows. I need a mirror. I'm trying. I don't know if I ever said anything about this, but I did recently get a new camera that has like changed everything for me, because now I have a viewfinder on it, which is right over here. So if you see me looking over, it's because I'm not used to being able to see myself for once. My old camera didn't have that set up. So if you see me looking over, it's because I'm constantly checking to see if I'm like in focus and in view and making a better experience for you. Just ignore the awkwardness of my eyes like glancing over. It drives me crazy when I'm editing. I'm working on that skill. Okay, so now that my eyeshadow base is on, I'm gonna take my shadow shield, of course, and chop it in half and apply that. So since this is like all the olive green goodness, there's no eyeshadow, or there's no eyebrow creamy color. So of course I'm just gonna grab my Tarte Beauty and go in with the Matte Aura, and I'm going to take that on my M124 brush and just apply this right under the brow bone. Or right under the brow bone, right on the brow bone, right under the brow. As always, I'm still taking it onto my tear duct as well, just because I love that brightness. So I'm gonna go into the palette, and I'm gonna start out with the lightest mustard shade here. I don't know on the back of the palette which shadow is which. This is either Edgy or Cameo. So I'm gonna start out with that, and I'm going to take my Morphe JH30, and I'm just gonna start by buffing this right into the transition area. Which when you first apply this, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's olive green. It's pukey. Diarrhea-y. But apparently it's a shade that we all like love. Next, grabbing a JH43. I'm gonna go in this color right here, which I know for sure is called Sundown. And I'm going to take this and place it like on the outer half of the eyelid and buff it into the crease. I really want to build this into the crease too, so I'm layering it and going in even deeper. Now taking my JH40, now taking the brush that came with the palette, it has this really small detailed fluffy brush and then a really small like pointed tip brush. I'm going to show you how I use that. I'm going to go in with the darkest green shade in here. I think this is Cameo. That's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to use this to deepen up the like outer V area and then blending it into the crease. Now taking my JH41, I am going to go in with this deep olive green like shimmer foiled shade. I think this one is Rule Breaker. And I'm going to build this over here and blend it into the green. On that same JH41, I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Top It Off. And I'm going to put this on the inner half of my eyelid and blend it in to that green shimmer shade. I'm just tapping it on with my finger to see how it performs. It's very, very pretty. So I would suggest just tapping a little extra on with that finger. I'm gonna do the same with the green shimmer, just to marry them a little better. Ooh, yes. And just because I like a little extra pop right in the center when I do looks like this, I'm gonna take my Tarte, the Tarte Chrome Paint in the color Top Yacht. It is a beautiful light champagne color. I'm just gonna take that with my M421 brush. I believe this is like a concealer brush, but I love it. And I'm going to just lightly drag that right onto the center. Now to line my eyes, I'm going to take this L'Oreal Flash Cat Eye by Infallible. Apparently it has like this top where you can like line it up and do it like this, but since I've got the stickers on, I don't need to do that, so I'm just gonna shake it up and go to town and line my eyes. Okay, so normally at this point, that's where I would go over that liner with like a dark shadow. But since the palette doesn't have one, I'm not gonna do that. So we're just gonna pull this off. Voila. Voila. I want this to be an eyes only tutorial, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish my base and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that my base is on, I should probably tell you what I use for blush. Just because it is what it is. I went with my Scott Barnes palette and I mixed Crush and Blush. I mixed Crush and Blush and Sweet Cheeks. So I mixed those two, and this right here on my face is what it came up with. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the eyes here. I'm gonna go in with the JH38 brush, and I'm going to take a mixture of Sundown and Edgy and buff that underneath the lash line here. Hurdy hurr. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M432 brush and go in with Camo. And I'm going to line right at the base of the lashes with this and go about 2/3 in. Now it's time for some lashes. I'm going to take my Milk Kush mascara and put this on my upper lashes. Now I'm just going to apply my lashes. These are my Ardell 3D Foam Inks in 585 or 858. I can't remember. One of those two. I'm going to take my Nabla Cosmetics Magic Pencil. This is in the shade Light Nude. It's their lightest shade. And I'm going to take that onto my lower lash line, my inner waterline lash line. Just because sometimes looks like this can tend to, like these colors, sometimes they can like close your eye in, and I don't want my eyes to look any smaller, so I love this pencil. I love it because it's not like an in-your-face white, but it brightens up your eyes beautifully. And it really lasts on the waterline too, like this Nabla Magic Pencil. Bomb.com. So next I'm going to spritz my face with my Beauty Blender Redo Spray. You just need a teeny tiny bit of that. And then before it dries down, I'm going to take the butt of my Beauty Blender and push everything into my face. Doing this just marries your powder and your cream products on your face so beautifully, so highly recommend. I am going to go in with my Jouer Cosmetics highlighter in the color Molten Glow, and I'm going to apply it just barely at the tops of my cheeks. This is such a beautiful highlighter, and it has more like that golden undertone, so I think with this green eye look, it's just so pretty. And I am just going to take a little detail brush. This is the JH39, and I'm going to pop that onto the inner corner, and I am going to like drag it up to meet with the eyeshadows. And then for my lower lashes, of course, I'm going to take my Giga Black extended Giga Black lash. For lips, I was going to go in with like more of an orangey color, but I don't know. I think I just should play up the golden tones. So I think a nude is the route that I should go. And I mean, I'm gonna go in with my favorite nude of all time, which is the Dose of Colors. This is the liquid matte one, but the liquid velvet one is my favorite. This is in the color Stone, and on my skin tone, this is just the best. So. This one specifically came from their limited edition like truffle and stone sets that came with the gloss, the liquid lip, and then the liquid velvet, and then a lip liner. They just need to make the liquid velvet permanent, in my opinion. Okay, now that that has dried down a little bit, I'm gonna go in with my Morphe lip pencil in the color Foolish. And then I do want a little bit of nude just on the center. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Dance Floor Princess and pop it right on the center. It'll be very subtle. I want to add something else actually. I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay lipstick in the color Gubby. It's like a very pale but shimmery shade. And not like a frost, like it just has like a light shimmer. There we go. Okay, so that is it. Using the DODO Colors Cutting Edge eyeshadow palette. I've been loving this. When I saw it and they came out with it, I was like, I need that. I don't have anything like this in my collection, and the shades are just beautiful. I don't always play with greens. I should play with greens more because I love the way that it turned out. I love the idea of these very simple, small palettes that don't break the bank, that give you all the options that you need for a look within this color story. I think DODO Colors does a great job in that. This is my first of her little eyeshadow palettes. I do have the DODO Colors Desi X Katie palette, the Francation which I mean is beautiful as well. But I have loved their formula within these two palettes, so I highly recommend. I love the brush that came with it, since you have like the pointy detail and then the small fluffy detail brush. It's so different than any of the other brushes that I have currently in my collection and that I've ever, you know, obviously ever received within a palette. So I really like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up. Leave any comments, requests, questions, anything down below. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.